Good afternoon to all of you and welcome to the South Carolina Public Service Commission for our weekly commission business meeting. It is approximately 2 o'clock, and before we begin, I would ask please join me in a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. First, a roll call of commissioners present here in the hearing room. Commissioner Carolee Williams, Commissioner Thomas, Vice Chair Williams, Commissioner Belser, and I'm present. Virtually joining us, Commissioner Caston. Mr. Scarborough, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Chair Powers, Vice Chair Williams, and Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled Commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next business meeting be set for Thursday, August the 1st, 2024 at 2 o'clock p.m.
The next meeting will be August 1st, 2024 at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Today we have 24 items on the utilities agenda and 17 items on the transportation agenda. Items 1 and 2 are requests for approval of interconnection agreements and can be taken together. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2024-193C. This is a request for approval of the interconnection agreement between Ridgeway Telephone Company and Level 3 Communications, LLC. Item number 2 is in docket number 2024-208C. This is a request for approval of the interconnection agreement between Sand Hill Telephone Cooperative Incorporated and Level 3 Communications, LLC.
Having heard the items as presented by Ms. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you very much. I move that the Commission approve the telecommunications interconnection agreements in utility items 1 and 2 as identified by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in dockets number 2007-193C and 2024-14C. This is a request from FTC Communications, LLC, doing business as FTC Wireless, for confidential treatment of Exhibits 2, 3, and 4 of its annual eligible telecommunications carrier report.
Having heard item 3 as presented by Ms. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the Commission grant the request for confidential treatment for Exhibits 2, 3, and 4 to the annual eligible telecommunications carrier report for FTC Communications, LLC, doing business as FTC Wireless, as requested.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2024-211C. This item involves the appointment of a hearing examiner in this docket.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the Commission appoint Attorney E. Scott Winburn as a hearing examiner for this docket. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Is there any further discussion? Proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2023-409E. This item involves the First Amendment to an electric service contract between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Scout Motors Incorporated.
Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion. I'm going to start with a little bit of explanation that's part of the motion, but I do have a motion.
You have the floor.
By order number 2024-102 dated February 1st, 2024, the Commission approved a contract for electric service between Dominion Energy South Carolina and Scout Motors Incorporated. The contract between Dominion and Scout set forth terms and conditions for electric service, many of which are customary provisions in electric service contracts, and also included an economic development incentive credit, which was calculated in compliance with Act 20 of 2022. Dominion now files the First Amendment to Contract for Electric Service, designated as contract number E0223021, which Dominion and Scout have executed. This First Amendment modifies certain provisions related to the service date. No rates, charges, or other provisions of the contract are impacted by the First Amendment. I move the Commission accept for filing the First Amendment to Contract for Electric Service, contract number E0223021, between Dominion and Scout Motors Incorporated.
Having heard the motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, we will have a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
I vote aye, the motion carries.
Items 6 through 8 are requests for confidentiality and can be taken together. Item number 6 is in dockets numbered 2023-8E and 2023-10E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff that the Commission maintain the confidentiality of the testimony and/or exhibit of James Finley Salter. Item number 7 also appears in dockets numbered 2023-8E and 2023-10E. This is a request from South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, Upstate Forever, Vote Solar, and Sierra Club for confidential treatment of the direct testimonies of Maria Rumpani and Michael Goggin. And item number 8 also is in dockets numbered 2023-E, 2023-8E, and 2023-10E. This is a request from Carolina's Clean Energy Business Association for confidential treatment of the direct testimony and exhibits of John Michael Haggerty.
Having heard items 6 through 8 as presented by Mrs. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I move that the Commission approve the request for confidentiality in utility items 6 through 8 as identified by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? We will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 9 also is in dockets numbered 2023-8E and 2023-10E. This is a motion from the Clean Energy Buyers Association for admission pro hoc vici of Scott F. Dunbar, Esquire.
Having heard item 9 as presented by Mrs. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the Commission grant Clean Energy Buyers Association's motion for appearance pro hoc vici of Scott F. Dunbar, Esquire.
Having heard the motion, is any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 10 also is in dockets numbered 2023-8E and 2023-10E. This is notice of withdrawal of Weston Adams III, Esquire, and Courtney E. Walsh, Esquire, as counsel, and substitution of Bess Durant, Esquire, on behalf of the Clean Energy Buyers Association.
Thank you. Having heard the item, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing Clean Energy Buyers Association notice of withdrawal of counsel of Attorney Weston Adams III and Attorney Courtney E. Walsh and substitution of counsel of Attorney Bess Durant. So moved.
Having heard the motion by Vice Chair Williams. Is there any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 2024-192E. This item involves establishing a procedural schedule for this docket.
Having heard item 11, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission direct the clerk's office to adopt the proposed procedural schedule agreed upon by the Office of Regulatory Staff and Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated as outlined in ORS's January 23rd, 2024 letter. The proposed procedural schedule is as follows. Company direct testimony due August the 1st, 2024. ORS and intervenor direct testimony due September the 19th, 2024. Company rebuttal testimony due October the 3rd, 2024. ORS and intervenor surrebuttal testimony due October the 17th, 2024. The hearing, October the 23rd, 2024. I further move that commission staff will have the authority to adjust the schedule as needed. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Is there any further discussion? Then we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2019-386E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of its Code of Conduct report for calendar year 2023.
Having heard item number 12 is presented by Ms. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of the portions of the Code of Conduct reporting for calendar year 2023 as indicated by the company.
Haven't heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner C. Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 is in docket number 2024-81E. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Having heard the item number 13 is presented by Ms. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
thank you. Commissioners, I move that the commission grant the application of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for a certificate of environmental compatibility and public convenience and necessity for the construction and operation of the Church Creek Charleston Transmission 230 kV line and associated facilities in Charleston County. I move that the commission find that Dominion has shown the need for this project in that construction of the proposed line is necessary to provide additional electrical capacity needed to serve existing and future load demands in Charleston County reliably, to maintain the operational integrity of the company's electrical transmission system, and to ensure the company remains in compliance with applicable NERC reliability standards and the company's long-range planning criteria. I further move the commission find that Dominion has shown the probable environmental impacts of the project have been appropriately evaluated and are not significant but minimal, if any, and additionally that the probable environmental impact of construction, operation, and maintenance of the project is justified, considering the state of available technology and the nature of the economics of the various alternatives. By constructing the proposed line within existing rights-of-way to the extent possible, Dominion has selected the route for the proposed line in a way that appropriately minimizes environmental, land use, cultural, resource, and aesthetic effects. Further, there is a reasonable assurance from Dominion that the project will conform to applicable state and local laws and regulation. Dominion will obtain all required state and federal agency concurrence and approvals regarding regarding any protected species prior to the start of construction of the proposed line. Finally, I move that Dominion be required to notify the Commission and ORS of the commercial operation of the project within 10 days of such operation, and that Dominion also provide notification to the Commission and ORS regarding any changes or delays to the planned commercial operation date. A full order memorializing the decision will be issued. That's my motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Bilser. Having heard the motion, is any further discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Bilser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye, the motion carries.
Item number 14 appears in dockets number 2018-320E and 2022-326E. This item involves final disposition of the joint application.
Having heard item 14, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Bilser.
thank you, sir. Before the Commission are two joint applications filed by Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC. According to DEC and DEP, both joint applications provide programs or offerings that existing and future customers can use to meet their sustainability goals. DEC and DEP also advise that the modifications to the Green Source Advantage Program and the two new offerings are the result of stakeholder feedback received from stakeholder engagement. The first joint application requests certain modifications to the Green Source Advantage programs offered by DEC and DEP. The joint application requests two primary modifications, amendments to the existing GSA programs. The first proposed amendment is to align subscription limits to a customer's energy consumption rather than to the 125% of the customer's annual peak demand. The second amendment is to increase the current allocation of capacity across the DEC and DEP service territories from a total capacity of 200 megawatts to 250 megawatts and remove the geographically limited caps. The proposed amendments are unopposed. I move the Commission approve the requested modifications to the existing Green Source Advantage programs. The second joint application requests approval of new customer renewable programs proposed by DEC and DEP that provide new renewable options to customers. These new programs are Renewable Choice and Clean Energy Impact. Under both programs, DEC and DEP propose to generate or procure renewable energy through assets obtained via a competitive procurement process for resources located within both companies' balancing authority areas. Customers wishing to reduce their carbon footprint or otherwise support renewable energy could do so through these programs and document their practices through the purchase of clean energy environmental attributes. A settlement agreement among DEC, DEP, Walmart, and the Office of Regulatory Staff was reached and presented for Commission approval. I move the Commission approve the settlement agreement presented and the customer renewable programs. Also, a full order on memorializing the decision on these two dockets will be issued.
Thank you, Commissioner Bilser. Is there any further discussion? Vice Chair Williams. Your lights on.
I think I'm a little anxious to vote. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, sir. We will proceed with the roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Bilser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 appears in docket number 2024-194E. This is a request for acceptance for filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Progress LLC and 10 Governors Solar LLC, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
Is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission accept for filing the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Progress LLC and 10 Governors Solar LLC, and grant the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Haven't heard the motion. Is any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 is in docket number 2013-298E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval to modify its Power Manager Load Control Service rider.
Having heard item 16 is presented by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Belser.
on April 2nd, 2024, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC filed a request seeking modification to its rider PMSC Power Load Control Service Program. The modifications to the program will provide customers with financial incentives for the ability of DEC to control customer-owned battery storage devices during certain limited periods as identified in the rider. The program is part of DEC's current suite of energy efficiency and demand-side management programs. DEC modeled the cost-effectiveness of the modified program under the utility cost test, the total resource cost test, and the rate impact measure test, and reported favorable results. The UCT is the primary cost effectiveness screen under the commission-approved EEDSM mechanism, and the UCT result was 1.58. I move the commission approve the modifications to the program as provided in DEC's request and as reflected in the revised pages accompanying the request as Exhibit A, and let me add to that, the revised tariff pages accompanying the request as Exhibit A. Further, I move that the modification become effective no earlier than 180 days following the date of the order approving this modification and continue as long as the measure is cost-effective or the Commission orders otherwise. Finally, and as noted by ORS in its review letter, the right for ORS and other parties to review applicable cost, utility incentives, and benefits resulting from the program through the annual EEDSM rider proceeding in accordance with the Commission-approved revised EEDSM mechanism, and to make recommendations related to the administration and cost recovery in subsequent dockets where cost and benefits may be examined is preserved. A full order of the Commission will be issued.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 is in docket number 2019-108G. This item involves acceptance for filing of the 46th Amendment to the contract between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the United States Department of Defense for Fort Jackson, and a request for confidential treatment of the agreement.
Having heard item 17, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission accept for filing Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 46th Amendment of the United States Department of Defense contract at Fort Jackson and grant Dominion Energy of South Carolina Incorporated's request for confidential treatment of said agreement. So moved.
Having heard the motion by Vice Chair Williams, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed with the roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 appears in docket number 2024-168G. This is a motion from Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated to dismiss the complaint filed by Ms. Jerika T. Sumter.
Having heard item number 18 is presented, is there a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor.
On June 4th, 2024, Ms. Jerika Talena Sumter submitted a complaint alleging unspecified billing errors as well as allegations of negligence and fraud against Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, or DESC. Ms. Sumter asserts billing errors as it relates to her allegation of non-receipt of dividend payments, alleging I am entitled to receive regular dividend payments. Unfortunately, I have not received my due payments. Her claims concerning the disbursement of dividend payments is the sole focus of the complainant's allegations. On July the 2nd, 2024, DESC filed a motion to dismiss, which included an answer to Ms. Sumter's complaint. DESC asserts that it is Ms. Sumter's burden to set forth a concise and cogent statement of the factual statement and identify an act, rule, regulation, or order administered or issued by the Commission that was allegedly violated pursuant to SC Code Annotated Regs 103-824A3. DESC argues that while Ms. Sumter alleges negligence and fraud, the complaint fails to plead or factually support any of the necessary elements to maintain tort claims such as negligence or fraud. DESC asserts that even if the complaint had properly pled those causes of action, the Commission lacks jurisdiction over tort claims. DESC argues that there are no facts to support the complaint or any claim that DESC violated any act, rule, regulation, or order of the Commission, and as such, the complaint should be dismissed. The Commission finds that Ms. Sumter has failed to state a cause of action or claim for which relief may be granted. I move that the Commission grant DESC's motion to dismiss the complaint of Ms. Jerika T. Sumter. I further move that the Commission dismiss the complaint with prejudice. The Commission shall issue a full order outlining its decision. So moved.
Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 is in docket number 2024-204G. This is a petition from Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated for a limited waiver of certain tariff provisions.
Having heard item 19 is presented by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Belser.
Commissioners, by its petition filed July 3rd, 2024, Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated requests authorization to temporarily suspend its assessment of late payment charges that would otherwise be applicable to its eligible residential and non-residential customers. Piedmont requests the waiver as it converts its current customer information system, which Piedmont advises is aged and obsolete, to a new customer information system, which is an SAP solution utilizing supportable current technology. The deployment from the legacy customer information system to the new system was scheduled to begin on July 5th, 2024, and was scheduled to conclude on July 8th, 2024. Piedmont has requested the LPC waiver as a safeguard to shield its customers from the potential for inadvertent assessment of unwarranted late payment charges during the deployment period of the new customer information system. Piedmont also explains that the requested waiver supports Piedmont's ability to ensure the accurate conversion of customer data from the legacy customer information system into the new customer information system during the deployment of the new system. Further, Piedmont asserts that the requested waiver supports the company's ability to perform in a timely manner its verifications in the weeks after deployment to ensure that all billing and payment processes in the new system are stable and operating as expected. I move that the Commission grant the petition of Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated, Nunc Pro Tunc, for a limited waiver of certain tariff provisions related to the imposition of late payment charges. Specifically, I move that the Commission authorize Piedmont to temporarily suspend its assessment of late payment charges that would otherwise be applicable to its eligible residential and non-residential customers in the company's implementation of its new customer information system. As requested by Piedmont, this waiver of late payment charges is effective until Piedmont's rendering of Cycle 1 bills for September 2024, which will occur on or about September 3rd, 2024. In granting Piedmont's petition, I move that the Commission find that the requested waiver is not contrary to the public interest and is an appropriate safeguard for Piedmont's customers as Piedmont deploys and converts to a new customer information system. Finally, I move that Piedmont be required to inform the Commission and ORS by no later than August 30th, 2024, whether there is a need for an extension of the waiver or whether the waiver will end as scheduled with rendering of Cycle 1 bills in September 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 20 appears in dockets number 2013-208E and 2013-92A. This item involves the proposed procedural schedule for the annual review of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's demand-side management and energy efficiency programs.
Having heard item 20, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I move that the Commission order that the notice of the annual review for Dominion Energy South Carolina's demand-side management energy efficiency programs be sent at the same time as the notice for Dominion's annual fuel proceeding. This will provide ample opportunity for the affected public to be notified via bill insert or electronic mail in a timely fashion to participate in the proceeding if they so choose. Persons who are interested in providing comments regarding the proposed notice of the annual review for Dominion Energy South Carolina's DSM EE programs being sent at the same time as the notice for Dominion's annual fuel proceeding must file such comments with the Commission on or before Thursday, August 15th, 2024. The clerk's office is instructed to serve this directive on the parties in docket number 2024-192E as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Having heard the motion made by Commissioner Williams, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye. I'm just thinking about something, and I think I've got something confused, but I'm reconciled, and I vote aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 21 appears in docket number 2022-89G. This is a request from Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated to withdraw the depreciation rate study filed with the Commission on May 28, 2024, and notice that it will submit a revised depreciation rate study no later than August 1st, 2024.
As to item 21, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Thank you. Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor.
The Commission received a letter from Piedmont Natural Gas Company on May 28, 2024, explaining that there was an error in its filed depreciation rate study and that it needed to be corrected and refiled. On July 17, 2024, the commission receive the revised corrected depreciation rate study. Accordingly, I move that the commission instruct staff to hold a status conference with stakeholders in the docket to establish a procedural schedule. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is there any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 22 is in docket number 2018-243A. This is a request from Jacob Utilities LLC for confidential treatment of its financial statements.
Having heard the item, is there a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant Jacobs Utility LLC's request for confidential treatment of its financial statements.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Having heard the motion, is there any further discussion? If not, we will proceed with a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 23 appears in docket number 2023-390E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff that the commission maintain as confidential the direct testimony and exhibit of Dawn M. Hipp.
Thank you. Having heard item number 23, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers.
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the Office of Regulatory Staff's request that the commission maintain as confidential the direct testimony and exhibit of Dawn M. Hipp, unless or until the commission rules such information is not entitled to protection from public disclosure, or the company agrees that such information is no longer confidential or proprietary. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Thomas, is any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 24 appears in docket number 2024-1E. This item involves final disposition of this docket.
Having heard item 24 is presented by Mrs. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Vice Chair Williams.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, regarding the annual review of base rates for fuel costs of Duke Energy Progress LLC, I move that the commission approve the proposed adjustment subject to the proposal of the Office of Regulatory Staff and the company as to certain issues related to the Distributed Energy Resource Program. The commission will set forth its decision in a full and forthcoming order. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner, Vice Chair Williams. Having heard the motion by Vice Chair Williams, is any further discussion?
Mr. Chair.
You have the floor.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to thank Ms. Reed, who testified on behalf of the company, as we questioned her regarding an issue with the Distributed Energy Resource Program and overcharging ratepayers. I find that she was transparent and forthright and easy to understand regarding the unfortunate situation that the company finds itself in, and I appreciate the willingness they expressed to go back to the first overcharge, I believe sometime back in 2015, 2016, in a letter they filed with the commission this week. So I just wanted to put that out there and show my appreciation for that level of transparency. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Williams. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carolyn Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have 11 applications for new Class C and Class E certificates, and these items can be taken together. Item A1 is in docket number 2024-197T, which is the application of T&D Limousine Service LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item A2 appears in docket number 2024-195T. This is the application of My Ride SC LLC for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2024-198T, which is the application of Top Tier Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Check that.
Item A4 is in docket number 2024-199T, which is the application of LDB Charm Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A5 appears in docket number 2024-200T, which is the application of Safe Care Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A6 is in docket number 2024-201T. This is the application of Assured Transit LLC for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item A7 is in docket number 2024-205T. This is the application of RNI Encounter Transportation Services LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A8 appears in docket number 2024-206T, which is the application of Local Motion Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A9 is in docket number 2024-207T. This is the application of Taxi Latino LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item A10 is in docket number 2024-209T, which is the application of Luft Aviation Services LLC for a Class C charter certificate. And item A11 is in docket number 2024-210T, which is the application of Nathaniel G. Johnson for a Class C taxi certificate.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask Mr. Scarborough for clarification on the name on item A3, please? Top tier.
Top Tier Transportation Services LLC?
Yes, sir. Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard items A1 through A11 with correction, do I hear a motion?
Chair Powers, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates as in item numbers A1 through A11 as identified by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Is there any further discussion? We'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Belser.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have two requests to amend applications that can be taken together. Item B1 is in docket number 2005-134T. This is a request from Clyde, a doctor doing business as Doctors Transportation, to amend its application for a Class C taxi certificate number 7575 to read Doctors Transportation Services LLC. Item B2 appears in docket number 2024-72T. This is a request from Frazier Transport LLC to amend Class C non-emergency certificate number 9946 to read statewide.
Thank you. Having heard items B1 and B2, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Belser.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the commission approve the request to amend the Class C certificates in item numbers B1 and B2 as identified by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner Belser. Having heard the motion by Commissioner Belser, is there any further discussion? If not, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Belser.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have four requests for extensions of time that can be taken together. Item C1 appears in docket number 2024-47T. This is a request from Higher Standards Transportation LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. Item C2 is in docket number 2024-124T. This is a request from Classic Black Transportation LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. Item C3 is in docket number 2023-60T, which is a request from Taxi Latino LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations. And item C4 appears in docket number 2024-131T. This is a request from Transpire Transportation Services LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Having heard items C1 through C4 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Chair Powers,
Commissioner Thomas,
I move that the commission approve the request for an extension of time in item numbers C1 through C4 as identified by Mr. Scarborough.
thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Is there any further discussion? We will then proceed with the roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Williams,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scarborough, and thank you all the staff and commissioners for the hard work. Before we adjourn, I would like to take the privilege of wishing our Vice Chair, Justin Williams, a happy birthday, which is coming up this weekend. It is a big one, and I expect cake on Monday.
And you will have it, sir.
Thank you. Is there anything further from anybody? Hearing nothing, please all be safe, stay dry, and help others when you can. We are adjourned.